Shalom, this video is about Parasha Tetzaveh. Now the word Tetzaveh is based on the root word tzavah, tzivui, like command, like mitzvah. And this is the word command. Now what is the big command in this week's Torah portion? Well, last week, the portion before in Truma, we shift attention away from the Ten Commandments and away from all the mitzvot in Parashat Mishpatim. And God says, build me this mikdash, this mishkan, the portable tabernacle. Well, today you need somebody to run it, and who's that? That's the kohanim. So Aaron, Moses' brother, becomes the first high priest, the Kohen Gadol, and then his sons and etc. generations become kohanim. Now, how do we know who's a kohen today? Well, by family tradition, by your father telling you. And I have a separate video on kohanim, on priests. Now, we still have kohanim today in Judaism, but they don't play much of a significant role. They have a few ritual roles. And basically, their job of running the cult has been taken over by rabbis and cantors and other professionals. So in this week's Torah portion, first we have the mitzvah to take clear olive oil and to light the lamp regularly. Now, what lamp was it? Well, if you go into a synagogue today and look above the ark, there's always an object called a Ner Tamid, this light that's on, that's reminiscent of that. Many scholars believe that actually what they were referring to was the middle candle of the seven-candle candelabra, the menorah that was at the temple. But we do have the tradition here of Ner Tamid, of the eternally lit light from this passage. Then God commands Moses to prepare certain clothing for the priests, sacred vestments. So what were they? Well, a breastplate, an ephod, a robe, a gold frontlet inscribed holy to the Lord, a fringed tunic, a headdress, a sash, linen breeches. And God instructs Moses to place pomegranates and gold bells around the robe's hem to make a sound when the high priest entered and exited the sanctuary. Now, today, we don't dress any of our staff or our clergy in any of these garments. Rather, we put them on the Torah. So if you've seen a dressed-up Torah, as you can see in my video on having an aliyah, you can see that it's got either a crown or rimonim, sometimes often with bells on it on the top of the two handles. And then on the dress of the Torah, looks like a dress, and then usually a silver breastplate, and sometimes they even have the 12 stones of Israel, the 12 tribes, like the breastplate. There's a sash on it, so a lot of the clothing here has been transferred to that. Other religious traditions in their clergy and Christianity may wear this in their priesthood, but we have put it on our Torahs. Then God has an ordination ceremony for the priests involving a sacrifice. And then in Exodus chapter 29, verse 42, God promises to meet and speak with Israel and Moses there in this place and to abide among the Israelites to be their God. This is based on a phrase from last week's Torah portion where God says, build me the Mishkan v'shachanti b'tocham, and I will dwell among you. And then God tells Moses to make an incense altar. Now, there's various rabbinic understandings of this. For example, in Exodus chapter 20, there's a phrase in the words of Jeremiah in chapter 11, verse 16, that Israel is like a leafy olive tree. So Midrash says, what is it? Why is Israel like an olive? So the nations have come and beaten up, imprisoned, bound, and surrounded Israel, and yet you get the sweet and light juice out of it. Well, that's one explanation. Another explanation is just as the oil gives forth light, so did the temple in Jerusalem give light to the whole world, as it says in Isaiah chapter 60, verse 3. That's from Shemot Rabbah. So Israel's job is to give light to the nations as we have. So those are most of the salient points. There are 7 mitzvot according to Maimonides in this parsha, 4 positive and 3 negative. Most of them don't apply really today because the temple has been destroyed for the last 2,000 years in Jerusalem. One mitzvah is to light the menorah every day, and we have the eternal light. The others have to do with the kohanim, to wear these particular garments, the breastplate, not to tear the garments, the kohanim to eat the special sacrificial meal, etc. And also there's an important liturgical note. We call the afternoon service every day, we do every day of Judaism, the mincha service. And the regular sacrifice described in Exodus 29, 38, verses 38 to 39, to offer at twilight, which presaged the afternoon prayer service, is called the mincha, or offering in Hebrew. And that's where we get the word. So those are some of the main points in Parashat Tetzaveh, this important period in Jewish history where the kohanim were the main ritual cultic leaders of Judaism at this formative stage in our history.